Hello, good afternoon. Dumelang. Hope everybody is well. Guys, I realize all the time, I don't tell people. I don't do what I'm supposed to be doing. But first of all, I want to start by thanking everyone who's subscribed to this channel, everyone who has liked, everyone who has even shared and referred. I really appreciate that. You guys are a reflection of myself, a reflection of my having the ear to take instruction and also to have the courage to work through my own fears and self-judgment, because to do this, guys, it's not easy. It is not easy to do this. It is not easy to share your thoughts with people, with strangers, people you've never met as well. We are on more than 4,600 views. So I know some people repeat watch videos, but besides that, I'm also certain that some people are just passing. So it's people from all over the world, for all I know. But I appreciate that we somehow did cross paths, and I appreciate the positive energy that my thoughts are bearing and encouraging. Yes, because this is also just another reflection of who I want to be, because I am a thought leader. It's another title to my purpose. So as a thought leader, it's always encouraging to see the numbers go up. And our first episode was May 13th last year. That was when I uploaded our first episode. And since then, wow, this journey of my healing and self and work and purpose has been very interesting. It has been very interesting because I am talking to myself and just reflecting self to self. There's still a lot more to learn, and there's room for some things that I share now, and then a couple of months or a year later I have a different thought to it. So we are all learning together. So I appreciate every subscriber, every liker, every commenter, and welcome to anyone who's new. Please do subscribe. Okay, so today I opened, because I haven't been to church and this will be week 3. Today I was like, church can miss me today because it was raining in the morning. And I like my comfort. I like being cozy. I'm not gonna do that to myself where I'm in the rain and stuff. No, I love nature and that, but if I can avoid being in the rain, I avoid it. So I had a really cozy and chilled morning. I was in Maboneng yesterday, and we bought edible muffins. So I kept mine for today, and I had it this morning. I had it with my coffee. So I've been floating all day on this edible. Check him out. It's Mr_Muffin 420 on Instagram. Very delicious muffin, like very moist. It was vanilla flavor, it was very moist. It was delicious. I even posted a clip of how his muffins look on my Instagram. My handle is Antimakoko Lifestyle. This is my 3rd, if not 4th, Instagram account attempt. My main one, I still cannot open it. I've tried. I don't know what's going on, but hey, we move on. And alchemy is all about moving forward. So yeah, I've basically been floating off of this edible, and also to update on my weed journey. So I've stopped smoking weed. So I haven't entirely stopped in the sense that I completely quit it, because sometimes when my brother's having a joint, I'll have 2 puffs, if not 3. And it's been going okay. But besides those days where I have one or two puffs, and maybe that can happen once a week or once every 2 weeks, in my better sober state now, I'm eating more. I'm eating so much more. I'm regular with my meals. I have first, second, sometimes 3 meals a day, which, well, isn't important. It's all about what you eat. But then I am aware of my eating. I eat now. I really eat. It doesn't feel like, because before it would feel like it's a job for me to eat. It would feel like a task for me to even just eat and finish my food and enjoy it. As much as I loved cooking for people, and I still love cooking for people, but there were days where I didn't want to eat. I forget to eat. So I realized how weed was suppressing my appetite. And I'm enjoying eating. I'm really enjoying it. So that's the update in that. And also just, yes, the same, dealing with my emotions on a sober mind and coming to terms with a lot of things that I've done wrong. I'm really coming to terms with the things that I've done wrong. We often just reserve healing to healing from other people and not healing from our actions, right? We don't make the time and space to heal from our own actions, the things that we impose or inflict upon other people. We are very quick to remember what people did to us, but we forget how we make other people feel. So I've been kind of punched in the face with the reality of my past actions. Now it's the phase of showing me what I've done wrong, because also I had to start questioning, because obviously in our healing, the other mistake we make, oh, I'm healing. It somehow paints every experience, almost every experience that you've had in your life as negative, as something that you are recovering from now in this phase of your healing. And that's not the truth. That is absolutely not the truth. So in the sense of my experiencing self-love, it hasn't completely been crap. It hasn't completely been wrong relationships. And my little brother keeps saying to me every once in a while that, you know what, everything that has happened is because there were times where you were not in a good state and they had to happen. It doesn't mean that you are a bad person. It doesn't mean that you are fucked up. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're a very good person. You have a really genuine heart. You went through those things and, like, so what? So don't be so hard on yourself. And I needed to hear that. And with that happening, I've made so much room for the universe to slap me in my face with where I've done wrong. I've moved on from the things where I can say, okay, now that's enough. Okay, we've done enough healing in this department of my life. And then now I'm in the phase of the healing of me realizing, because sometimes you just say it, what I deserve. Just sometimes you just say, I deserve better, I want better. But we don't make the time to recognize the few times that what we deserved came knocking and we were too busy to give it space in our lives. And I've been telling people that I'm now understanding and working through my dysfunction of being attracted to dysfunction as opposed to peace, calmness, no drama, that type of stuff. That narrative that people usually have about women, saying they don't want the boring guys, they want the bad boys because it's more active, something along those lines. But I don't think it's something that only applies to women. It's something that applies to a lot of us who are damaged somewhere. We are all damaged, actually. So yeah, it applies to everyone to some extent. So anyways, today I bumped into, so I haven't been to church in 3 weeks, and then today I was like, no, let me just go through my Bible. I haven't done it in a while, like maybe a week, if not longer. I haven't spent time with my Bible, with scripture, and just, reflecting. So I opened it, and if you clearly go the book of Joshua, and the book of Joshua has bombs. That's just something I know. It's not a very long one. It is a very short one, but it has bombs. Yeah, it has bombs. So it opened to chapter 31, chapter 24. Yes, 24, verse 31, and it read, "As long as Joshua lived, the people of Israel served the Lord, and after his death, they continued to do so as long as those leaders were alive who had seen for themselves everything that the Lord had done for Israel." Okay, before we get into it, let me hook up a quick prayer. Tate Ramasedi, re leboga letsatsi la kajeno, kopa o be le rona a ntse re tlo bua ka mmereko wa hao, e ba molomo wa ka, e ba ditsebe tsa ka, e re go bue wena, go bue go tswe kganya fela mo nthong tse ke tlo di buang, mo thuto e ke tlo e fetisang. Re leboga le gore e tswa ko wena, Tate Ramasedi. Re leboga kaofela tse o re fang tsona, dimpho tse kaofela re fang tsona mo lefatsheng, mo maphelong a rona. Amen. Okay. So then I went to check out, okay, who's Joshua? What's happening with Joshua? Like, where does he come in? Because I know for a fact he's one of the great ancestors. So the introduction to the book of Joshua is, so Joshua, let's say, so Joshua is actually the successor of Moses. Notable events recorded in this book include the crossing of the river Jordan, the fall of Jericho, the battle at Ai, the renewal of the covenant between God and his people. So that part of this book I'm very aware of. One of the best known passages in this book is, "Decide today whom you'll serve. As for my family and me, we will serve the Lord." So going back to what I had found, the scripture of, as long as Joshua lived, the people of Israel served the Lord, and after his death, they continued to do so as long as those leaders were alive who had seen for themselves everything that the Lord had done for Israel. So as soon as I read that, it made me think about how, especially in African tradition, we, not even just that, just family, just in life, we inherit a lot of family things. We inherit a lot of things. It can be dysfunction, whatever it is. It's so easy for us to inherit a lot of things, especially in young ages where we are just adapting to everything around us, right? Because we're still developing. And then once we have developed, or we are of age or grown or think we are adults, we now want to start practicing or re-practicing the things that we've grown up seeing, hearing, or being told that we should do. So I am also just choosing to base this on the journey of being gifted a gift, because it's passed down, as we always told. So it's passed down from a grandmother, from this, from that. And also sometimes the internal conflict that comes with that. And that internal conflict right now in this day and age, especially here in our country, is how do we navigate our gifts or accepting our gifts if they don't come with us following the norm that we see now everywhere, where for you to be gifted, you have to be trained by someone. You need to have a goela. You need to have someone where you go, a mentor or spiritual mentor of some sort that always teaches you things. So some of us who didn't or couldn't be afforded that type of, I don't know if I should say luxury, but it seems like it's more a curse than anything, because needing to deal with another perception and opinion sometimes can be very stifling and stagnating, because you end up having to go back to that person for reference, for guidance, for validation. So it's a bit of a catch-22. So even when you are just growing into realizing that, okay, I am gifted, then there comes the big, okay, what now? How do I go about it? And a lot of us, because we are now growing up in families where for the past 3 generations, it was hidden in our families. It was hidden. It's not something that was openly shared or done. So now we're just coming back into the age of like now openly realizing again that, okay, such things do exist. So now what happens to us, the ones who are not Nguni or not of Ngoma descent? Even that, I've shared my thoughts on it. It's something that does not make sense for everyone to be doing the same thing. So Runaba, who are now left in a state where you just wake up one day, you've known there's something different about you. You feel it, you see it in your dreams, you see visions, you see things. Even random people have told you are gifted while you are out with friends having a good time, or just out at the shops minding your own business. And then once you realize, okay, this is real, then we are stuck now not knowing what to do with it. So this scripture has made me just think a lot about that. And I love the part where it says, after his death, they continued to do so as long as those leaders were alive who had seen for themselves everything that the Lord has done for Israel. So now the biggest conflict that a lot of us sometimes face is we are sort of told or getting the inkling that no, traditionally we should be doing things this way because our forefathers did it. But a lot of us didn't grow up seeing it. Besides traditionally, let's say you grew up in a family that always went to church every Sunday, but there's that conflict because you're not seeing the fruits of that consistency and that dedication and devotion and worship to going to church. So now, obviously, at some point, you need to pick a side for yourself to say, okay, so what is my system of belief? What do I believe in? How do I navigate? How do I navigate myself beyond self? How do I reach that point? And I love the point where it says, as long as those leaders were alive who had seen for themselves everything that the Lord has done for Israel. So what happens? So then my question was, okay, so then what happens to the ones who didn't see everything that God had done for their family? So in this case, Israel is what you know, it's your family. As I always say, the beauty of the Bible is you don't have to take everything literally. It is not that literal. This is how some of us are able to address our lives through scripture, because you have to reach a level of reading between the lines, because it's always self against self. So if you start treating life that way on a self against self part, you're gonna want to see how things affect you. You reach a point of self-vetting where you're like, okay, is this about me? How can I apply this to myself to make myself a better person? And there will come times where you ask yourself, something happens, you see something, or you are involved in something, and you ask yourself, okay, is this about me? Is this for me? Can I learn anything from this? And you can get no, no, no. And then you can say, okay, fuck it. I'm moving on. It's none of my business. I don't have the time for this. That is the best part, where you can reach that level of discernment and not caring enough that you like, I get again. It's really none of my business. I'm not going to get involved in this. I don't want to know. It's okay. I don't care about this. We're allowed to not care. So healing also does involve not giving a fuck. Okay, so then I wrote some notes down. I'm trying to not make this a long one. Decide today whom you will serve. As for my family, we will serve the Lord. So this is the famous line of the book of Joshua, the famous scripture. And I had found it in the introduction of the chapter. just to also get a slight idea of who Joshua is and why. So Joshua is the one who took over after Moses. So it's a second generation after Moses, right? So he had to carry on. So the other famous line is God telling us, "I will be with you as I was with Moses." And God said this to Joshua at some point. Hold on, my guy, now you must take over. Now you need to go do all those things. Carry on from this guy. And Joshua was like, but how? As we also ask ourselves, but how am I going to do this? And he's like, don't worry, I got you. Same way I had Moses. You don't know everything that Moses and I discussed. You don't know all of it. There were some personal conversations that me and Moses were having. There were some questions he was asking, and I just made things happen without him understanding. So don't worry, you're in good hands. We have reference, right? It's good to have reference. And this is also highlighting that we shouldn't be following things that we don't see any fruit in. If your family is saying they're traditional, and you're really not seeing where all this nonsense is going, where every month we are slaughtering, or every once in a while we are doing whatever, every sneezing there's something we are using for things, but we don't see real progress, we don't feel peace. It's always just a matter of anxiety and, just frustration and doing things in haste and always questioning everything around us, where it's like, oh, people are out to get me. We're always just on that tip, but we label it as tradition. This is what we do. This is what we've always done. But there is no progress in it. Like in the family, there's hardly any progress showing. Like it's always stories. It's a real mess. Then you must sit back and apply discernment to say, do I want to be the successor of that nonsense? Because you are also given that choice in life to choose for yourself. Do I want this nonsense? Do I want to live this way like I'm seeing everyone else that is around me living? No. Then you make the personal decisions to change that for yourself. And obviously, if you change that for yourself, then you are starting a new thing where now you're going to have another generation that can say, oh, Mamu actually did things this way. Did it work for Mamu? What progress did I see in her life with her doing that type of stuff? And if there's progress, then there's a big chance of it being improved going forward. There's a big chance of the family healing through other things. There's a big chance of people learning other things about themselves. So now this must also apply to you knowing and realizing that you have a gift. There's a video where I'm talking about how we need to make our gifts our own thing, where we're not trying to just be like everyone else. For the mere fact that you are gifted, it's something that's been passed down in your family. Don't you just love that? That no matter what has happened in reality, in the physical of life and history and what has happened, if there's a gift in the family, it is still carried over. Don't you just love how bloodline works? Isn't that just amazing that some things you don't have to go get to be given? You're already born with them. And just going back to the scripture or this book of Joshua and him just reconnecting us back to God. And as we always say, because we are God's too, it's reconnecting back to self. So it's about the covenant and the promise and the agreement we made with the great creator on how we are going to treat ourselves so that we can be able to show and celebrate the glory of the great creator, what has made us come here, what has made us alive, what has made us exist. It's also highlighting the biggest thing ever that we always talk about, our life purpose. Why are we here? Moses was told why he was here. So I'm guessing Joshua was also told why he was here. And besides being told, we are shown who we are. We are shown who we are supposed to be. We are shown how we should be living. And we are always given or shown signs when we are doing wrong or doing right. That's the beauty of life. Like, it's what I'm saying. If we can't keep doing the same thing and hoping for different results. So it's what I'm saying to, like, if things ain't working out, then that means something is wrong, right? Obviously. So we need to change what is not working for what is working, and that will take us trying new things and new forms and applying them. That's the work we're talking about. It's not things that just happen overnight. So Joshua is the successor of Moses, and staying true to to the innate promise, something that's already within. It's in our conscious, it's in our subconscious, it's intuitive that whatever I go through is for a reason, is for a purpose, and everything that I want, I will get. Everything that I encounter will work out. I don't know how, but it will. It's just me having that faith and belief in the greater God, because I myself have seen how it has served me. Serving myself, I have seen, I have realized, I have learned, I have witnessed how self-serving has come back to serve me, right? So now, because we're living in the flesh, seeing is believing. Seeing is really believing. So even if you believe in the thing that our families do in tradition, whatnot, it still all boils down to your individual journey. It's all a personal journey. All of it is a personal journey. We're not all going through the same things. Yes, we can share a bloodline, but it's not the same for all of us. It's not the same for all of us. We can meet every once in a while as family for that ceremony, for that ritual, for that gathering. But in between, everyone is experiencing life how they choose. Everyone is going and getting mentorship where they choose. Everyone is applying their lessons or life lesson or lack thereof how they choose. It's all an individual thing. So there's something else that I read and I found here. Okay, so this is now God talking to Joshua. I will always be with you. I will never abandon you. Be determined and confident, for you will be the leader of these people as they occupy this land, which I promised their ancestors. Just be determined. Where's my pen? Need to highlight this. Just be determined. Be confident. And make sure you obey the whole law my servant Moses gave to you. All right. So like the reality in life, if you want anything, you obviously have to firstly be determined. You have to be sure that you want that. You have to really, really want that. You have to be confident that you will get it. So this is you speaking to yourself saying, every little thing that I want for myself, I deserve, I will get. I am never lacking. I am blessed in every way imaginable. Every day is a new lesson. Every day is a new day. I am happy to wake up. I am happy to go to sleep. I am fed. I am clothed. I am warm. I am protected. I am loved. Self-affirmations, right? So that's confidence. And then make sure that you obey the whole law that my servant Moses gave you. So this goes back to the 10 commandments. And then now we know better that the 10 commandments are actually mad, right? Those laws. It's 40 laws, if not 46 laws or more. The laws of life, right? The universal laws of life, how we must treat each other. So the 10 commandments are the concentrated level of all these universal laws of life and how we should be living. And these universal laws are laws that are imprinted in our DNA, in our fiber, in our moral fiber. We are all born knowing the things that we should be doing and the things that we cannot do, right? So like for example, having your heart must be lighter than a feather type of thing, that type of rule, that whole treat your neighbor as you would treat yourself. That shit does not mean that you need to be subservient to your neighbor all the time or to the next person. It means treat yourself well. Treat yourself well and the world will treat you the same. So those type of laws, those are the laws that they're talking about. The simple laws of life, like to really take care of yourself. If it don't make sense, don't do it as well. Like follow your feelings, follow your intuition, follow your gut. If people are doing things that you don't understand and you don't flow with, stay away. Avoid them. Avoid them. So this also applies again to us realizing our gifts, the succession of our gifts, of spiritual gifts, where they're saying this was actually in the families passed down from smang mang. I can't know it through their eyes. They are not here. I am not that person. I am whoever I am right now. So, okay, I accept my gift. This is my gift. How am I going to make it work under, my life purpose journey? How am I going to apply my gift of healing and making a difference? And also making sure that that gift is going to work for me and come back and reward me. Because it also says, be determined, be confident. Being determined and confident means just knocking on new doors all the time, not giving up, not being complacent, not being fearful, just trying and breaking barriers, trying new barriers and breaking walls and going through the fire to get to the other side, to see what, if I go through this, what's waiting for me on the other side, not being scared or being bound by our gifts. I think that's the gist of what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, and it's also saying, if you don't know what was happening in the generations before you are recreated, what we do know and what we know for a fact is you are here. At least start from there, just knowing that you are here, and it can't be for nothing. Just like it's a what? Why are you here? What are you here for, my guy? What are you here for, my sister? Why are we here? Why are we here? Why are you here? So, like, make it worthwhile. And know that you are taken care of. The universe is always just taking care of you. You are not here to fail. There's no way that your existence has been designed against you. If you feel that way, that's usually and mostly because of man-made ideals, people's just projecting their own feelings about themselves onto you. Like, we also need to reach a level where we are saying, okay, I was told this, I grew up thinking this, I grew up believing that. What's it called? I almost said complacent dissonance. But something along those lines, where it's just things that we grew up with, and this thing of saying, yeah, I'm just like that. Oh no, there's no such thing as saying, I know, but yeah, I'm just like that. I'm a very anxious person. I'm just like that. Everyone in my family is very anxious. No, there's no such. There is no such thing. There is no such thing. Dude, it says, I will be with you as I was with Moses. So whoever was here before you, they existed until their death for you to also be here. So what does that mean? You are here for a reason. So why are we worrying about what could go wrong? That is not our job. We're not here for that. We are here to worry about the day that we are in and be grateful in it and make it worthwhile, and just always constantly believe that whatever it is that I'm here to do, it is for the greater good. I am not here to mess with anyone else's life. I am not trying to do anything to mess with anyone else. As long as you do everything for yourself and for yourself only, then we're on the right track. If all you care about is yourself and you are making the improvements, you are making the choices to better you and your life, you're on the right track. But if you start paying attention to what people think about you or what other people are doing in their lives and putting in the work, just being invested so much in other people's lives and wanting to be the barrier so that other people don't win, no, you are on the wrong track. It's not I don't even know what to call it. Yeah, sharp, but that's not what we're here for. We are not here for that. Joshua, no one will be able to defeat you as long as you live. I will be with you as I was with Moses. I will always be with you. I will never abandon you. Be determined and confident. Like this, be determined and confident is repeated twice. Be determined and confident, for you will be the leader of these people as they occupy this land, which I promised their ancestors. Me, I believe I'm a leader wherever I end up. Wherever I'm going to land, I am there to fuck shit up. It's me and how I believe. Whatever situation I am in, I'm here to win. Wherever I go, I'm here to make a difference and leave an impact. So because I know I am here for that. I know how to get blinded to that extent. I believe that and I feel it. That's how I'm also confident enough to leave situations that don't serve me anymore, to change my life and take chances that I don't know what's going to work out, but I do know that I will survive. If the people that were here before me were here and I came to be, then I know definitely there is something that is making me confident and protected enough to move forward. So it's repeated 3 times, again for the third time. Remember that I have commanded you to be determined and confident. Don't be afraid or discouraged, for I, the Lord your God, am with you wherever you go. We are our own worst enemies. In most cases, we are our own worst enemies because we are wherever we take ourselves. Our greater God, the creator in us, is with us wherever we choose to take ourselves. So if we are in a mind state of fear and doubt, that is where we have chosen to take ourselves. But if we are in a consciousness of success and winning and abundance and blessings and things working out for the better, we have also taken ourselves there. So when we are inheriting, when we are successing spiritual things, when we are successing and winning and being given certain gifts, it is not for you to try and be what you don't understand. It is for you to follow what has always worked. If you've seen it working for someone else, there's no need to break it. But if you have not seen it, or if what you see is not bearing fruit, then that means something needs to change. That's all I'm saying. Right? I'm making sense. Ne? Yeah, but I don't even know what I'm going to title this. Handing over of gifts, or the succession of spirituality, or succession of purpose. Whatever, I'll find a way, but that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, let's be smart in how we are inheriting certain things, everything around us. Let's be smart. Let's be discerning. Let's be confident and determined in everything that we do. That's the message. Yeah.